Tiffanie Needham joined the folks of Hull Firefly this May for the theme, The Dirt. We are delighted to hear her story, Sunflower Summer, tonight. Please put your hands together for Tiffanie Needham.
It was the summer of June of 2018. My husband and I bought our home in Rockland, Massachusetts. I had been living in a condo in Quincy for nearly 20 years. This home with a wraparound porch and a yard ready for my garden was a dream come true. It was built in 1878. So in addition to the Victorian character, there were little quirky attributes that had come from iterations of years of lives living there. Like it was a big house, but it only had 1.5 bathrooms. And that bathroom is the tiniest little bathroom you can ever imagine. But it was ours. Once we got settled, I called my friend Carrie, who's here tonight. She lives nearby, and I said, Carrie, it's sunflower summer. We proceeded to go to Ocean State Job Lot, and I buy a pack of mammoth sunflower seeds, and I read the directions. Soak for 2 days, plant the seedlings in the seedling tray, wait for 2 weeks, and then your seedlings will be ready. Seedlings grew to 2.5 inches. I called Carrie, and one by one we planted the seeds along the fence, along the side of the road. The next morning I wake up and I go out at 6 in the morning to find sunflower massacre. And that's how we discovered we have a family of groundhogs living under the shed and a gazillion bunnies and rabbits who all love to eat sunflowers. I immediately call Carrie. I say, Carrie, we will start over, and this time we will barricade. So I go back to Ocean State Job Lot. Another mammoth, a packet of mammoth seeds. Soak for 2 days, plant the seedling tree, and 2 weeks later, I go to Home Depot and I buy a lot of wire fence. Carrie comes over, seedling by seedling. We plant and then we wrap the seedlings twice. Think Alcatraz, they were going nowhere. I wake up the next morning and they look fantastic. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. We are on our way to sunflower summer. And 2 days later, I'm greeted with sunflower massacre number 2. And I'm devastated. I give up. So I go to the garden center and I look for anything with color, geraniums, posies, pansies, and I go up to the register and I share my tale of woe with the owner. Think old Yankee farmer. He looks at me with a knowing look, a glint in his eye, and a matter-of-factly says, you want to know how to grow sunflowers? The secret is human urine. He says you plant the seedling, you surround the perimeter with urine 1 time, and the animals will not go near it all season. I race to my car and I call Carrie and I say, Carrie, we still got this. I go back to Ocean State Job Lot, and by now you know the drill. But 2 weeks later, I do not call Carrie. I set my alarm for 5 a.m. know my husband and my daughter will not understand the important task I have. So I go into the kitchen and I grab a red Solo cup and I fill it with cold water and I drink the cup. A few minutes later, I go into the tiny bathroom. I position the cup just right so I can fill it. But next, putting the cup down and finishing up requires a ninja-like dexterity I didn't even know I had, because I was not spilling that cup. So I take the cup and I grab my seedlings and I go outside, and one by one I plant the seedlings and I carefully surround the perimeter with you know what. And Mom, I washed my hands after. And they started to grow. And they grew, and they grew, and they grew, and we had 12-foot sunflowers along the side of the fence, along my garden, and in the front. And since then, I've become known as the home on Payson with sunflowers. And you guys know the secret. Harry, we did it! But when you next see a sunflower, I ask you to please consider the gifts of wisdom that they share with you. Sunflowers stand tall, they stay firmly rooted, and they always lean to the light.